In this video, we'll go through example questions that cover the criteria, use the mean, median, mode and range to compare two sets of data. You can locate the questions on the mathsmath.com website under level 2. The questions come from different examples. We'll start with the non-calculated questions and then we'll move to the calculated questions. Here is the first one. Jessie writes a report about the number of shoppers at the shopping centre. She writes, "Last week we were only open for 6 days because of a bank holiday. The mean number of shoppers was 21,000 a day and the range was 19.5 thousand shoppers. Jessie has this information about this week. Compare this week and last week using the means and the ranges." So we'll need to work out the mean and the range for this week and compare them with last week. So to work out the mean, we're going to add all of these numbers together and divide by 7. So let's see if we have any number bonds here. So 4 and 6, they make 10. 8 and 2 make 10. So we have 20, 25, 28, 34. So 4 down and 3 carried over. 9 and 1 is 10. 19, 21, 27, 34, 39, 42. So 2 down, 4 carried over. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13, 16. Put in a decimal point in as well. That makes 162.4. So we'll do 162.4 divided by 7, because there are 7 days. How many 7s fit into 16? That is 2, and we have 2 remaining. How many 7s into 22? That is 3, and we have 1 remaining. We transfer the decimal point over. How many 7s into 14? That is exactly 2. So 23.2 is the mean. Let's look at the range. Which one is the highest number? That is 39.6 thousand. And the smallest of them all is 12.5 thousand. So 39.6 take away 12.5. 6 take away 5 gives us 1. 9 take away 2 gives us 7. 3 take away 1 gives us 2. So 27.1. 27.1 thousand, that is. So comparing the means, we've got 23.2 for this week, and for last week it was 21,000. So it's higher this week. So we're going to say, on average, there were more shoppers this week than last week. Comparing the ranges, we've got 27.1 thousand for this week and 19.5 thousand last week. So this week the number of daily shoppers is less consistent because the range is greater. The lower the range, the more consistent. The higher the range, the less consistent. So this week the mean number of shoppers but less consistent. We now move into the calculated questions. Dataset A has a median value of 3.1. Here is dataset B. It has numbers 14, -9, 28, -38, -13, and -2. Write a statement to compare the median values of the two sets of data. So we have the median for dataset A, but we don't have it for dataset B. We're going to work it out for B. So to do that, we'll put the numbers in order, starting with the smallest. The smallest of them all is -38, then -13, -9, -2. So negative numbers are smaller than positive ones, and the higher the value of the digits, the smaller the number, because it has the negative sign in front. Then we have 14, then we have 28. So we're going to underline or cross out one on each side till we get to the middle. We have 2 in the middle, -9 and -2. So what's the midpoint of them two? You could work this out in different ways. You could go -9, -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, and then -2. So we move one place each time to get to the middle. So it's in between -6 and -5, so -5.5. Another way to do it is to add -9 and -2, which is -11, and then divide that by 2, which gives us -5.5. It's like you can ignore for a bit the negative sign in front. 9 at 2 is 11, divided by 2 gives us 5.5, and then put the negative sign in front of the 5.5. So now we know the median value for this data set. We're going to compare it to the median value for data set A, which is 3.2. So we can see that the median value for data set B is lower than the median value for data set A, and that's what we're going to say here. Show a check of your answer for the median of dataset B. I can do the reverse. So first time round I did -11 divided by 2, which gave me -5.5. So I can do now 2 times -5.5, which is 2 times -5 is -10. And 2 lots of -0.5 give us -1. So that is in total -11. Vera is a shop manager. She has this information about the income in her shop for 8 weeks this year. The median income for the same 8 weeks last year was £49,300. Vera knows that the median income for these 8 weeks has decreased this year compared to last year. Work out the percentage decrease of the median income. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. So we're comparing the median income. We've got it for last year. We're going to work it out for this year. So let's start with the smallest number out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because it's 8 weeks. The smallest of them all is 19.4 thousandths, that is. Then we have 39.8. Then we have 42.3. 42.5. 45.1, 47.9, 52.4, 53.5. Crossing out 1 on each side. I'm just going to underline them so we can still see the numbers. So we have 2 in the middle. We have 42.5 and 45.1. So we can add the 2 and divide by 2 to find the midpoint between these two. Gives us 43.8. So we have the median, 43.8 thousand, and we're going to compare it to 49,300. I'm going to write this in full since I'm comparing to 49,300. So this is 43,800. Can you see that the comma is exactly at the same place as a decimal point? So we know that this is lower than 49,300. We're going to work out the percentage decrease. So we're going to do 49,300, take away 43,800. Which is 5,500. So that is 5,500 out of 49,300, because that's the initial one. That's last year's. That's before the change happened. So it's always out of the initial value. So we'll do now this in the calculator. 49,300, which is 0.11156 and so on. So that is as a decimal. Now to get it as a percentage, just move 2 places to the right. So this is 11.156%. We're told to give our answer to 2 decimal places. So this will be the cutoff point. So 11.16%. We have to round up because of the 6 after the 5. The manager of a small business claims that the mean salary in the company has gone up by over 10% in the last year. One of the workers says that the gap between the highest and lowest earners has more than doubled. Use this data about the company salaries to decide whether each of the statements is true. Show your working. Let's start with the mean. So we'll work out the mean for last year and this year. So we can add all of these numbers for last year. So 15,275 plus 42,122 plus 15,679 plus 20,000 plus 25,344 plus 25,879 plus 85,682 plus 15,998 plus 53,245 plus 55,333 plus 70,507 plus 32,196 gives us 457,260, which we're going to divide by 12 because there are 12 employees, and that gives us 38,105. Let's repeat this for this year. So we have 15,500 plus 33,775 plus 17,995 plus 34,065 plus 21,339 plus 20,112 plus 24,995 plus 23,115 plus 157,250 plus 40,631 plus 45,888 plus 60,200 plus 80,555 plus 17,160, which is 592,580, which we're going to divide by 14. And that gives us 42,327 pounds and 14 pence. So looking at the statement about the mean, it says that the manager claims that the mean salary in the company has gone up by over 10% in the last year. So that's what we're going to work out. We're going to do now 42,327. I'm going to ignore the pence here. Take away 38,105 pounds. Gives us 4,222 pounds out of the original mean, the mean for last year, which is 38,105. It gives us 0.11, which is 11%. And that is more than 10%. So the manager is correct. we still have this other part that relates to the range, so the highest and the lowest earners. Let's check that as well. For last year, the highest earner got 85,682 and the lowest earner got 15,275. And that gives us 70,407. Looking at it for this year, the highest earner gets 157,250 and the lowest earner gets 15,500. Which is 141,750. So the range has increased massively. One of the workers says that the gap between the highest and the lowest earners has more than doubled. So let's take this and divide by 2. Gives us 70,875. So this is higher than this. So it tells us that it is correct. It has more than doubled. So the manager is correct, and also the worker is correct. Because although the mean has changed, it has increased, it's likely caused by this very high salary, which is 157,250. So that's impacting the mean, but also the range too. So it doesn't necessarily mean that on average these people earn a lot more than they used to. Liam thinks he might watch either Rainbow Prism or The Infinity Zone. He looks at the scores given by different newspapers. The scores are out of 100. Which of the two films would you suggest Liam watches next? Give 2 appropriate statistical measures to explain your answer. I'll use the mean and the range, which are typical ones when comparing data sets. So starting with Rainbow Prism, I'm going to add all these scores. So we have 75 and 63 and 52 and 38 and 70, 83, 60, 41, 52. So 534. So I'll do 534 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which is 59.33 to 2 decimal places. Now we'll do the mean for the other data set. So we're adding 75, 68, 50, 74, 65, 79, 40 and 63. So 514 divided by 8, so one less. Gives us 64.25. So we can see that the mean is higher for the infinity zone. Let's work out the range. So what's the highest score for Rainbow Prism? That is 83, and the lowest score is 38. So we'll do 83 take away 38, which is 45. Looking at the infinity zone, the highest score is 79 and the lowest score is 40. So 79 take away 40 gives us 39. So we can say that the infinity zone has a higher mean scoring and the scores are more consistent. So that's what we're going to suggest, that he watches the infinity zone. And the scores are more consistent. The range of sale prices of flats in Building A is £25,900. The mean sale price of flats in Building A is £201,850. The table shows the sale prices of 6 similar flats in Building B. Calculate both the range and mean of the sale prices for flats in Building B. Use these values to make two comparisons between the sale prices in the two buildings. Okay, so the range of prices in Building B is 216,000 because that's the highest price, take away 189,400, which is the lowest price. Which is £26,600. So that is a higher range than £25,900. Now let's work out the mean. So we can add all of these together. 195,000 plus 207,500 plus 189,400 plus 191,800 plus 216,000 plus 209,540. So that is 1,209,240 in total. So we'll do 1,209,240 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which gives us 201,540. So comparing that with 201,850, this is lower. So building B has a lower mean and a higher range. So we're going to say in building B, the prices are lower on average, but they are less consistent. Than in building A. And in fact, this answer should come here. A company has made some changes to the way its employees work. The manager wants to know if these changes have made any difference to the number of days employees take off work because of illness. She gives you this information about the employees in one department. Did the changes make any difference to the average number of days that employees took off sick? Explain your findings to the manager. Show calculations to support your explanation. So we'll work out the mean as well as the range for both of these sets. So we've got 14, add 12, add 11, add 8, add 12, add 15, add 6, add 11, add 3, add 10, add 7, add 5, add 8, add 10, add 15, add 16, add 14, add 3. So that is 180 in total. So 180 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 20. 180 divided by 20 gives us 9. Let's repeat the process for this other data set. So we have 12, add 2, add 11, add 3, add 7, add 14, add 10, add 10, add 3, add 8, add 9, add 8, add 4, add 4. So that is 105, which we're going to divide by 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 15. Which gives us 7. We've got the means. So on average, the number of days that they take off sick has gone down. Let's work out the range as well. So for before, the highest number of days taken off sick was 16 and the lowest was 0. So 16 take away 0 gives us 16. So the range is 16. For after, the highest number of days taken off sick is 14 and the lowest is 0. So 14 take away 0 gives us 14. So the range is also lower now. So we can say that the changes have made a difference. On average, employees take fewer days off now, and the days taken off sick are more consistent. Should say days off sick here as well. A team manager wants to pick 4 people for a bowling competition. She decides to pick players with consistently good average, median scoring performances. She picks the following 3 people: Archie, Baz and Kathy. She needs 1 more player to make up the team. She looks at the scores of 2 more players. Make suitable calculations for Dave and Elaine. Decide which player best fits the requirements. Explain your decision using figures. So we're going to use median and range, just like these ones. Alright, so for Dave, the range is 102, take away 48. Which is 54. And for Elaine, that is 101, take away 79. Which is 22. So Elaine is a lot more consistent in terms of the scores. Let's work out the median. So putting these in order. For Dave, starting with 48. The next one is 67. Then we have 78. Then we have 86. Then 96. 98. 101. 102. So crossing out 1 each side to get to the middle. We have 86 and 96 in the middle. So 86 add 96 divided by 2. Gives us 91. For Dave, looking at Elaine's scores, the lowest was 79. Then we have 84, 87, 87. We have 93, 97, 98, 101. Again, crossing out 1 on each side leaves us with 87 and 93 in the middle. So 87 add 93 divided by 2. Gives us 90 for Elaine. So Dave has a higher median score, 91, in comparison to Elaine with 90. However, Elaine is a lot more consistent than Dave. So I'm going to suggest Elaine, and I'm going to say Elaine has a slightly lower median score, but is a lot more consistent than Dave. A health club conducts a survey to compare the average number of hours of sleep of members. Members report their results each week. Ormond takes part in the survey. She wears a fitness band which records the number of hours she sleeps. She wants to compare her own results week by week. Last week she slept a mean time of 5 hours and 19 minutes with a range of 4 hours and 49 minutes. This is the record for this week. What are the results that the woman reports to the health club? What comparison can she make between her own results? Make 2 comments using figures. Okay, so let's work out the range first. She slept the longest on Monday for 8 hours and 22 minutes. And the shortest was on Thursday with 5 hours and 49 minutes. So we'll need to take away 49 from the 22, which means we've got to borrow 1 hour. So that is 1 hour now and 22 minutes. In 1 hour there are 60 minutes. Add the 22 gives us 82 minutes. So we'll do 82, take away 49, which is 33 minutes. 7 take away 5 is 2. So 2 hours and 33 minutes is the range. So this week she's been a lot more consistent in terms of the hours of sleep in comparison to last week. Now we'll work out the mean. We could convert these into decimals because we've got them into hours and minutes, or we could convert them all into minutes, so 8 hours and 22 minutes into minutes, and then add them up and divide by the 7. What I'm going to do is add them all as they are, although all these different methods are possible and you could use them if you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the minutes first. So we've got 22 minutes, add 49, add 59, add 49, add 44, add 16, add 55, which is 294 minutes. Now, how many hours fit in there? Exact hours. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour, so 60, 120, 180, 240, next one is 300. So 240 is where we stop. So that is 4 hours and 54 minutes. So I'll write 54 minutes here and I'll carry over the 4 hours. So 4, add 8, add 6, add 5, add 5, add 6, add 7, add 5. Gives us 46 hours and 54 minutes. So 46 hours. I'll divide that by 7 because there are 7 days. So how many 7s fit into 46 is the question. That is 6 because 6 times 7 is 42. Then we have 4 hours remaining. So we've divided the 46 hours by 7 days and it gave us 6 hours, and we'll work out how many minutes. So we have 4 hours remaining. Now 4 hours, how many minutes is that? That is 240. 4 times 60 gives us 240. 240 and the 54 minutes gives us 294 minutes, which I'm going to divide now by 7. So 294 divided by 7. Gives us 42 minutes. So 6 hours and 42 minutes is the mean. So compared to last week, this is higher. And it's also more consistent. So we're going to write 2 comments. So we're going to say, on average, she slept longer this week, and the duration of sleep was more consistent this week. Rahima is concerned about the environment and is looking for ways to be more eco-friendly. Rahima is researching the use of solar panels for her house. She has found some information on the total number of sun hours per month where she lives for 2016 and 2017. Rahima thinks the total number of sun hours was higher in December 2017 than in December 2016. Is she correct? Show your calculations and the workings out here. Okay, so for 2016, we know that it was 21 hours in December. But we don't know for 2017 what that was, because it's missing. And that's what we're going to work out, using the mean figure for 2017. So we know that we work out the mean by adding all the different values and dividing by how many there are. And that gives us the mean. Now, we don't have all the values, but we know how many there are, and that is 12 of them, because there are 12 months, and the mean is 94.5. So we've got this value that is missing. So all the values added, what will that be equal to? I can reverse the process here. So I can go backwards. 94.5 times 12 gives me the total. Which is 1134. So including December should be 1134. So I'm going to add what we already have. So we have 47, we have 61, 119, 128, 214, 108, 144, 126, 94, 56, and 6. So 1103. So we'll do 1134, take away 1103, gives us 31. So that is 31 hours of sun for December 2017. Rahima thinks the total number of sun hours was higher in December 2017 than December 2017. Is she correct? We can say yes, because 31 is greater than 21. Which year had the greatest range of sun hours? Show your calculations here. For 2016, the highest value is 206 and the lowest is 21. So 206 take away 21. Gives us 185 for year 2016. For year 2017, the highest value is 214 and the lowest is 6. So 214 take away 6. Which is 208. So year 2017 has the greatest range of sun hours. To generate the maximum amount of electricity, a solar panel needs to face south and have a tilt angle of 30 degrees. This will generate a maximum of 1.225 kilowatt hours of electricity for each hour of sunshine. In June, there were 108 hours of sunshine. Rahima's roof faces southwest and has a tilt angle of 50 degrees. To find out how much electricity her solar panel will produce, she needs to divide the maximum electricity that could be generated by a factor given in the table below. Rahima usually pays 0.143 pounds per kilowatt hour of electricity. How much would the electricity generated in June cost if she had to pay for it? Show your calculations and the workings out here. So, Rahima's roof faces southwest and has a tilt angle of 50 degrees. So 1.09 is the factor that we are after. So the maximum electricity that could be generated needs to be divided by this. How do we work out the maximum electricity that could be generated? We're given the information here, which says that to generate the maximum amount of electricity, a solar panel needs to face south and have a tilt angle of 30 degrees. This will generate a maximum of 1.225 kilowatt hours of electricity for each hour of sunshine. In June, there were 108 hours of sunshine. So we'll do 108 times 1.225. It is 132.3. So this is the number now. We're going to divide by 1.09. So 132.3 divided by 1.09 gives us 121.38. kilowatt hour units. She pays this price per unit, so we'll do 121.38 times 0.143. So that is £17.36. Because we write money in 2 decimal places. So with 2 digits after the decimal point. Eve and Stefan each take part in a quiz every week. They look at their scores in the first 12 weeks that the quiz takes place. Here is a summary of the data for Eve. Range 15, mean 41.25. The frequency table shows the data for Stefan. Stefan says, my scores were more consistent. Is it correct? Give a reason for your answer. You must show your working. Consistency links to range, always. So, the higher the range, the less consistent. The lower the range, the more consistent. The other two that we use are typically the mean, but sometimes the median as well. So in those cases, you can say the higher average. So if the mean or the median are higher, we say on average, this is higher. So just to clarify that. So in this case, we'll use the range. Now, you've got to be really careful here. It says range, that is the range for the scores, not the frequency. So focus on the score column. What is the highest score? That is 43, and the lowest is 37. So we'll do 43, take away 37. Which gives us 6. So is Stefan correct when he says that his scores were more consistent? Yes, because 6 is lower than 15. So yes. The range of his scores is 6, which is lower than 15, or lower than Eve's. Eve says, on average, my scores were higher. Is she correct? Give a reason for your answer. You must show your working. So this is the time now when we're going to use the mean to compare them. We've got the mean for Eve's score, which is 41.25. Now we're going to work it out for Stefan. So we've got the scores and the frequencies. Because some of the scores appear more than once, that's why we have the frequency table here. So 37 appears once. So that's why 37 times 1 we do, and we get 37. 38 once. 39, 0, so we can put 0 there. 40, that is 4 times, so 160. 41 twice, so that gives us 82. 42, that is 0. 43, that is 4 times. So 4 times 43, you could do it with a calculator as well, or go 4 times 40 is 160. 4 times 3 is 12. So 160 add 12 gives us 172. So we'll add all of these together, get 37, add 38, add 160, add 82, add 172, which is 489, which we're going to divide by the total for the frequencies. So we've got 1, 2, 6, 8, 12. So 489 divided by 12. Which is 40.75. That's the mean for Stefan. And if we compare it to 41.25, you can see that Eve's is higher. So Eve is correct when she says that on average my scores were higher. So yes, the mean of her scores is higher. Paul and Fran want to enter a 60-kilometer cycle race. They look at the reviews of 2 races, A and B, from last year. Each review gives a score out of 5 stars to show how good the race was. Here is some information about the review scores for race A. The frequency table shows the review scores of race B. They enter the race with a high average review score. Which race do they enter? You must show your work in. So for race A, we're given the mean, median, and the range. And for race B, we've got the review scores and the frequency. I'll work out the mean and the range for race B. Let's start with the range. So we're taking away the smallest from the highest. The highest score, that is 5, but the lowest score is 2. Why not 1? Because frequency tells us that there are 0 of them for race B. So that's why the lowest is 2. So 5 take away 2 gives us 3. So that's the range for race B, which is the same as for race A. Now working out the mean, which by the way you could have picked the median as well, but I picked the mean. So to work out the mean, we'll multiply the scores by the frequency. So 1 times 0, that gives us 0, 2 times 1 gives us 2, 3 times 1 gives us 3, 4 times 4 gives us 16, 5 times 6 gives us 30. So adding all of these together, 2 add 3 add 16 add 30 gives us 51 in total. Dividing that by the total for the frequencies, 6 and 4, that is 10, 11, 12. So we'll do 51 divided by 12, which gives us 4.25 as the mean. So this is higher than the 4.1 for race A. So which race do they enter? We're going to say race Now I didn't pick the median, but you could have picked the median and the range instead of mean and the range. So how do you work it out in this case? So remember, we list all the different scores when it comes to the median, starting with the smallest. So the lowest score in this case, that is a 2. We have one score that is 2. We have one score that is 3. We have 4 4s, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 5s, so 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. Now we cross out again 1 on each side. We have in the middle 4 and 5. Midpoint between 4 and 5 is 4.5. You can also do 4 add 5 divided by 2, which gives you the same answer. So 4.5 is the median. Again, even with that, median would be higher than the 4 that we have here, so you'd come to the same conclusion and say raise B. However, you don't need to show both the mean and the median as well as the range. And that's the end of the questions.